coming soon. One more minute. Forgot to do something. What the? There we go. Yeah. Running Back Nation, what is good? It is your boy DJ Eastwood, Running Back Philly, no frauds, no fanboys, no intros. That was not a 5-minute intro. That was a figment of your imagination. Thank you for everybody for being in here. Just want to let you guys know if the energy's not there tonight, I've been battling a cold for a couple days. Last night was absolutely brutal for me. Today was brutal. I drug myself out. I did my best to wake up and watch this game so I could, can't miss the post-game live on the season opener. So I'm here, but I am feeling like absolute, you know what. And then the Sixers go and, lose that game. And just add to my misery. But I'm going to give you, my thoughts on the game. I don't think I'm going to take live callers. I'm sorry if you were looking to call in and yell about some things tonight. I feel like I get hit by a train. I don't know if you can tell in my voice. But yeah. Algo Gang, do your thing, man. Hit the like button on the stream. There's 210 people in here. Please hit the like button. Give me 210 likes. That would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. This is brought to you by, look, I didn't even put the right ad up there on the screen, man. Oh, that's not right either. Where's FanDuel at? Oh, well. This is brought to you by FanDuel. I got a crazy offer for you guys if you want to get into sports betting on FanDuel. If you bet $5 right now on any NBA game, you get $150 in free bets. Plus 3 months of NBA League Pass. If you bet $5 on any NBA game right now on FanDuel, you get $150 in free bets guaranteed and 3 months of NBA League Pass for free. Got to use the link in the description. All right? AZ King will just get this right out of the way. Paying money to be a troll is just a new level of sad. Not even going to read the comment, but thank you for the $2. All right. Imagine being an Arizona fan and just not having anything else to do but watch a Philadelphia 76ers post-game live. The Sixers lose to the Boston Celtics 126-117. And, it's the first game of the season. We knew there's definitely going to be some things to work out here. There's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some miscommunication. There's going to be some chemistry issues. I guess I'll start by saying the first thing that let's go negative first. All right, let's get the negatives out of the way. And then we'll go to the positives. And then I paused the Phillies game, by the way. So then I'm going to go downstairs and watch the end of the Phillies game. That will, I think, already be over by the time I'm done doing this, but we'll see. The negatives, let's get the negatives out of the way. All right, so when Tyrese Maxey was going ham in the preseason, and, he looked like a number one option. He looked like a 1B or a 1C. My main question, and I think I clipped out from a stream and posted it as a separate video, my main question was, can Tyrese Maxey do that with Joel Embiid and James Harden on the floor? Can Tyrese Maxey continue that level of just offensive control, I guess I'll say, once the entire roster is on the floor? The preseason, it was just green light, green light, green light. Obviously, it's the preseason. And you know how he can score when he has a green light. I guess what I noticed in this game, kind of right off the bat in this game is that Tyrese Maxey doesn't quite seem like he knows his role in this offense entirely right now. Now, he had a stretch in the fourth quarter where he started to go ham, and I do think that was part of Doc Rivers' strategy. You know, once the end of the second quarter, he went all James and Joel, or the third quarter, I'm sorry, and then fourth quarter, he started with James on the bench and Maxey on the floor with Joel Embiid, because obviously, you know, how do you get... Is there an airplane going past my house? Or some... Anyway. How do you get Tyrese Maxey involved in the game and get him to be going downhill and get him to be, you know, attacking the basket and get his confidence up? And yeah, you guys are right. You guys in the chat that are saying, you know, he started being more aggressive and confident when Harden was off the floor. And that's interesting, man. That's very interesting. But yeah, with Harden on the floor, when they're just running Harden and Embiid pick and rolls, and, you know, the first couple possessions, we ran plays for like Tobias Harris before Maxey. You know, the first, like, I want to say 3 quarters, it didn't feel like there was a whole lot of Tyrese Maxey action going on. And that was pretty disappointing. You know, you after seeing the leap that he took in 1 year, and then, you know, all the offseason work, and then seeing what he looked like in the preseason, you would really want Tyrese Maxey to have looked like he's a major, major part of this offense. Now, the final stats, you know, he had 21 points. He got 16 shots up. So maybe I'm overreacting a little bit on the Tyrese Maxey thing. You know, every player is not going to drop 40. Maybe that's what we're going to get this season, where we see, you know, certain parts of certain games that Tyrese Maxey takes over control. And I'm totally fine with that too, as a third option. So it might not have been as bad as I thought as far as Tyrese Maxey's role in this offense. I just feel like the first half, he didn't really have a job to do. You know, he didn't really have an assignment, it felt like, offensively, and he was really just kind of deferring to James and Joel, and then trying to take a sneak shot here or there, a quick trigger three. The one play that I love from Maxey was very simple, just trying to feed Embiid in the post, and his man overhelps on Embiid, and he just shoots the three and hits it. That's something we haven't had from a point guard, cough, cough, in a long time. There's a screenshot of that old point guard trying to feed Embiid in the post, and his defender is already double-teaming Joel Embiid. So at least we have guards who can recognize, hey, for this whole thing to be effective, I have to shoot the basketball. You know what I'm saying? But I get it's only one game. Can I really analyze the team as a whole after one game? Not really, but Maxey, you know, in that fourth quarter, had that little run where Doc left James on the bench, and he started running, you know, pick and rolls with Embiid, dribble handoffs, and he got to the mid-range shot. He got all the way to the basket. He hit a three from the top of the key. So I guess maybe that's what we should expect this season, to be able to have enough weapons offensively that, you know, you can be strategic, you can be selective, and Doc can use Maxey when he feels like he needs him, or use Maxey, you know, when the offense gets stagnant and slow and things like that. So it was interesting. I didn't like most of the game in terms of Tyrese Maxey's role in the offense, but then they started running the whole offense for him in the fourth quarter, and it worked. So we'll see what that looks like moving forward. Devin G, number one negative was defense rotations. Brett Brown stuff. Thanks for the super chat, and I can't disagree with you there. The Boston Celtics had wide open three after wide open three after wide open three after wide open three. The Boston Celtics shot 35% from three. They got 35 three-point attempts off. They were 12 for 35. We were 13 for 34. You know, it just felt like they made them when they really needed them the most. When they went up in that end of the third, into the fourth, we didn't really have an answer to bridge the gap, you know? They kind of just took the lead, took over, and that was it for us. I guess that's my only real... I don't have too many negatives here, man. I know you guys want me to get up here and yell at Doc Rivers and yell about this and yell about that. It's game one of the NBA season. It's a long season. There's a lot of things the Sixers are going to need to figure out. I wasn't shocked. I know, I'm reading Twitter as the game's going along, and people are just, first of all, Twitter is Twitter. If you want to hate anything in your life, just go to Twitter, and Twitter will make you hate that one thing. Type in whatever you want. Chipotle, Five Guys, whatever. Twitter will make you hate it. So Twitter was being very negative, and this team looks the same as last year, on and on and on, just very negative. One game. But yeah, Joel Embiid did not look good in this game. The Boston Celtics always play great defense on Joel Embiid. Ever since, Brad Stevens was the head coach and Danny Ainge was still there as the GM. And then, Brad Stevens was kind of the Embiid kryptonite. He just always had a whole lot of strategy to throw at Joel Embiid. He knew how to use players the right way. And again, Embiid can't necessarily be Superman because he's a center. And if you want to stop the Philadelphia 76ers, what do? You stop Joel Embiid. And the Celtics are always pretty good at slowing down Joel Embiid. Now, he averages 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists against the Celtics for his career. But he's had some of the worst games of his career against the Boston Celtics. And I think most of it, it's not just personnel. The Boston Celtics always have good personnel. They always have this modern-day Boston Celtics, they always have a good defense. Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, Al Horford, on and on and on. Jaylen Brown. They always have good athletic players that they can throw at a beat, but it's really the strategy. It's really the quick double teams. The Sixers want to run their whole game from the post, and they just bring a super quick double team from all the way across the floor, too. From Jaylen Brown coming from under the rim, completely leaving his man to double Joel Embiid at the elbow, and then Embiid has to figure out how to get the ball out of the double team and move it and find the open man, and that's been Embiid's weakness his whole career, passing out of a double team. He's gotten better at it as the years go by, but I always thought the Boston Celtics were very good at throwing looks at Joel Embiid and slowing him down. Now, he had a lot of sloppy turnovers. He had a lot of just getting stripped, losing the ball in a face-up situation. In the first quarter, he was getting some calls, by the way, and I feel like they stopped giving him those calls in the second half, and he didn't really have an answer. He didn't really know. Once he stopped getting those foul calls, he didn't really seem like he knew what was going on. AZ Kingman, your takes are just so bad, bro. Like, so bad. So bad. I know you're a troll. I know I should be able to ignore you, but man, just horrendous take after horrendous take, man. DVW, thank you for the super chat. I would feel better if we didn't have Doc as a coach. He's stubborn. I don't see him changing his system to fit the players. Joel falls too much as usual. Hey, you know me. I'm not going to sit up here and say I want Doc Rivers. I don't think anybody in this city wants Doc Rivers. And I think, we signed him to a 5-year deal, so nothing's really going to change. We're not going to fire Doc Rivers. We got to try to win a championship with Doc Rivers. Do I think the team would be better with a younger, more energetic coach, more open-minded coach, more motivated coach, Sam Cassell type? Yes. I don't think your team would be worse with Sam Cassell at the head coaching position, but that's just something it's not going to happen. So, I don't want to harp on it the whole season. Doc Rivers is here, and this is what we're going to get. But yeah, I think Embiid was definitely sloppy. A lot of sloppy turnovers. The one pass in the third quarter where he just was bringing the ball up the floor and kind of lobbed it over the half-court line, and Jaylen Brown just ran, intercepted it, and finished on the other end. It was a very lazy pass. But, has Joel ever been great in the first couple games of the season? I don't know. I'll have to go look back at what he looked like the first couple games of last season, but I do definitely feel like getting into the flow of an NBA basketball game and getting into the flow of the intensity level of the NBA and all of the things that you have to get used to, the speed of the game and all of that, I would assume it takes Joel Embiid, a couple games to really be up to NBA speed, especially because most of his career he's been resting, more than playing basketball at game speed. The first couple years of his career, he wasn't even allowed to play pickup basketball. I don't even know if he's allowed to play pickup basketball right now in the summertime. He's always been so quote-unquote injury prone that he's always been a guy that he can be this great, but you don't want him to be hurt, so you tell him, hey, just rest. Don't do anything. Just rest. So he comes out in this game. I don't think he looks out of shape or anything like that. I just think he wasn't in tune. He wasn't in tune with the speed of the game. He wasn't in tune with the intensity of the game and what the Boston Celtics were throwing at him. He did not look like his MVP level self. And I think, if I had to guess, a lot of that is just timing and the flow of the game and things like that when it comes to playing in the NBA. Am I making excuses? I don't know. He didn't look good. I'm agreeing with you guys that he didn't look good, but first game of the season, I'm not going to freak out. I think Joel Embiid rests more than he plays basketball in the offseason, so, that could be a reason for it. That's all I'm saying. Gambo, thank you for the $5 super chat. Our bench needs to score. Starters scored 106. Other than that, it wasn't bad. The Celtics just weren't missing. It happens. Harden's back. Yeah, the Celtics hit a bunch of big shots. Our starters scored 106. Yeah, what did our bench do, man? Let's look at the bench scoring here. We got nothing going on as far as the bench scoring. PJ Tucker is a starter. That doesn't count. Yeah, we got 5 from DeAnthony Melton, 2 from Montrezl Harrell. Is this right? Oh my God. Where's DeAnthony Melton? Okay. The leading scorer off the bench was DeAnthony Melton with 5 points. Yeah, that ain't going to get it done. Montrezl Harrell had 2 points. Daniel House Jr. had 1. George Niang had 3 off of that 1 3 that he played. This is telling me that Matisse Thybulle played in this game. He did not play in this game, did he? Oh, he played 23 seconds. Why would you put Matisse out there for 23 seconds, Doc? What's the point of that? What are we, in middle school? Hey, you're not going to play the whole game. Go out there and there's 23 seconds left. Go out there and run around. That's more demoralizing to a player's confidence than anything, don't you think? In the NBA. So, interestingly enough, Matisse Thybulle gets 23 seconds, which equals 0. Matisse Thybulle gets 0 minutes. Furkan Korkmaz gets 0 minutes. Shake Milton gets 0 minutes. And Paul Reed gets 0 minutes. So, the bench players that Doc Rivers did select, this is what I thought was going to happen. I'm not shocked by this, by the way. I'm not shocked by this at all. I thought with the addition of DeAnthony Melton and Montrezl Harrell, we would see a lot less of Furkan Korkmaz, Shake Milton, and Paul Reed. It'll be interesting to see as the season goes on what Doc Rivers does with his bench rotations, because this bench rotation did not make anything happen in this game. DeAnthony Melton had 20 minutes. He had 5 points. He was 2 for 4 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3. I thought Melton plays a good game, but it'll be interesting to see what Doc's bench rotation selection looks like moving forward throughout the season. Let's talk about James Harden, ladies and gentlemen. James Harden is back. James Harden is back. And James Harden is not superstar Houston Harden. But James Harden is definitely back to that elite level that he said he would be back to. All I needed to see was this one game, and I saw enough that James Harden is back. He looks in shape. He has elevation on his shot. He has the quickness in his ball handling ability. 2 times in the first game of the NBA season, James Harden made a defender fall over with a crossover. Twice. James Harden took somebody in an ISO situation and made them fall down with a crossover. So I'm happy to see that. When teams are shutting down Joel Embiid or slowing down Joel Embiid, it's who's going to step up, who's going to control the game, who's going to be that other star that can get it done when you need him to get it done. We didn't get it done in this game, obviously. But I thought James Harden, compared to last season, was absolutely fantastic in this game. The first quarter of the game, he had 16 points. He got fouled on 3 3-pointers. And again, I can't figure out if the officials stopped calling fouls or if we stopped, or if the Celtics just got smarter in defending him. But that first quarter, got fouled on 3 3-pointers. One of them was a 4-point play. He had 16 points in the first quarter, 22 at halftime. Finished the game with 35 points. People, Celtics fans on Twitter complaining. Free throw merchant. The NBA's back. James Harden shooting free throws. They're going on and on and on about how many free throws he's shooting. All right, AZ. Now you got to go find something else to do, my man. Hide user on this channel. There we go. Now AZ King can type his little heart out all he wants, and nobody will see it. You're still subscribed, and you can still type away, and nobody will see what you're saying. Yeah, for James to come out game 1 of the season and have 35 points, man, I'm excited for that. You got to look at games like this, first game of the season. You got to look at it and you got to say, what positives did we take away from this? Again, there's going to be a lot of growing pains. There's going to be a lot of things to figure out. But I'm very happy with what happened in this game because it's the first game of the season. Now, if we're 10 games in and we're 2-8, then yeah, by all means, we're going to be up in arms. We're going to be screaming for Doc. We're going to be calling for Doc Rivers' head, But game 1, we fought hard for most of the game. We were tied at halftime. We didn't get any bench production. And our defense in the second half was not good. Our perimeter defense in the second half was not good. When Tatum was out, Jaylen Brown was killing us. Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum both had 35 apiece. 35 for Jaylen Brown, 35 for Jayson Tatum. But yeah, I'm not upset about this game. I think there's a lot of things that we need to figure out and that we need to work on. But James Harden opening the season with a 35-point effort makes me feel pretty good moving forward. Tyrese Maxey had 21 points. So I guess offensively, Tobias Harris had 18, but he had 16, I think, in the first half. So Tobias Harris did his usual disappearing act that he does. And can you hate Tobias Harris for that? He's not a player that you think you're going to rely on. He's not a player that's going to will you to victory. You're not like, oh my God, we need Tobias Harris to win this game. Nobody, I kind of even forgot he was on the team most of the summer. Yeah, Tobias has 18. I think we should not panic. But basically outside of the top 4, we got 35 from Harden, 21 from Maxey, 26 from Embiid, 18 from Tobias Harris. Not much from nobody else on the team was in double figures. 6 from PJ Tucker, not that you expect him to be a scorer, but 5 from DeAnthony Melton, 2 from Montrezl Harrell. Daniel House Jr. had 1 point off the bench in 16 minutes. George Niang, 3 points off the bench in 12 minutes. So we're going to have to find a way to get some bench production out here. I think Harden is back to a level that can be a championship winning level of play. I think he's back to a level that can be, the B option to Joel Embiid, the second all-star on a team. But we're definitely going to have to figure out how to get some bench production out of this team moving forward, because we didn't get any bench production in this game. Rasan Granderson, the long-standing James Harden fan. I respect it. I respect you still being here after I went nuts on James Harden after last season and called him a loser and a fraud and he's washed and on and on and on. And you told me he wasn't in shape. You told me he was coming off a hamstring and didn't get to work out all off season. And I think you're right, man. I think you're right. Harden MVP candidate season. I don't know about MVP candidate season. All I want is a top 10 season. If James Harden's a top 10 level player in the NBA, then you're in really good shape. But I think last year the main thing with Harden was that jump shot. It looked flat. It looked like, and I said this a lot in the preseason, that this season he looks like he's getting that elevation back on that jump shot. He looks like he has that bounce back. That has a lot to do with that hamstring. That has a lot to do with being in shape. And I think he looks a lot better than he looked last season. And I think he's going to shoot the 3-point shot at a very good rate, very effective rate, and that's going to be very good for us. Now, you're not going to play very many teams that play defense the way the Boston Celtics play defense. So, you can look at this as a slap in the face, a nice way to start the season. Better to start the season like this than to play the Detroit Pistons or the Cleveland Cavaliers or somebody else. Not that they play decent defense, but not Boston Celtics level of defense. Better to start the season like this. I think that's where I'm going to go with this now. The Sixers, this is good that we played the Boston Celtics game one. This is good that we came out here and basically the second half of this game we got smacked in the face because we found out what our weaknesses are very quickly. We found out all the things that we need to work on. We found out all the things that we need to get right moving forward in the season. Thank you for the super chat, Rasan Granderson. Phillies won. Phillies up 1-0, man. Phillies up 1-0. If the Phillies end up in the World Series, I'm going to lose my shit, man. I can't believe it. Richard Newman, what's up, man? If Harden would have shot more and Embiid would have made most of them layups, we could have won, but we'll see him again. Yeah, let's look at how much did Harden shoot, man. James Harden did only take 14 field goal attempts. You're right. And you know what, man? I feel like that was all in the first half. So did Harden give us a little disappearing act in the second half? Harden was 5 for 9 in the first half. And he was 4 for 5 in the second half. Yeah, what's up with that? What's up with that, man? What's up with that? Why James Harden only have 5 shot attempts the entire second half? Interesting. People were mad that Doc Rivers waited till 6 minutes left in the game to bring James Harden back in the game. Now, he was, again, it's like I said, during this season, you're going to see a lot of experimenting, I think, with the emergence of Tyrese Maxey as a scorer, the level of scorer that he is. It's not easy to figure out, I don't think it's easy to figure out how can we get all 3 of these players their shots up. How can we get all 3 of these players, what they need? And it's going to take some time to figure out how do we work Maxey into the offense? How do we keep James going and getting shots up? So it'll be interesting. But yeah, I agree, man. James Harden only have 5 shot attempts in the second half is interesting. And he was 4 for 5. He was 80% from the field in the second half. 1 for 2 from 3. 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Yeah, you want to see. You always want to see. And we know James Harden isn't going to be Houston Harden, but you kind of I would say you kind of always want you always want James Harden to get 20-plus shot attempts in a game no matter what team he's on, man. Abe Link, what's up, my guy? Tough loss for the Sixers, but I'm not doubting them. Exactly, man. Long season. We get right back against the Milwaukee Bucks. What is it, tomorrow? Is it tomorrow we get right back against... Not tomorrow, Thursday? We get right back against the Milwaukee Bucks on Thursday, so hey, listen. If we can split these, you're playing the two best teams in the East, game 1 and game 2, arguably the two best teams in the East. If you can go 1-1 against the Celtics and the Bucks to open the season, I'd be happy about that, man. I'd be happy about that if you can go 1-1 now. If you go 0-2, then we got some things to talk about, So Thursday will be the true is Eastwood going to freak out test. So we'll see, man. And again, I've been sick for a couple of days. I feel like absolute dog shit. Literally had to drag myself out of bed today to be able to even get ready to watch this game, have enough energy to come up here and talk about it. So I think I did a decent job. I legitimately want to lay down right now. But I will open the phone lines. People are asking in the chat, can we call the show? So there you go, man. The phone line's in the bottom right. If you want to call in and give me your thoughts, you can go ahead and do that. We'll take a couple phone calls here and we'll hang out and read the chat, man. Doc has no strategy for the Bucks guaranteed. You know what, Irv? I don't think Doc has much strategy at all. I don't think he ever has. I think, most of this game I was saying, outside of the Joel Embiid, James Harden pick and roll, and the James Harden ISO, it still seems like really the only game plan that Doc Rivers has. And you knew Boston was coming for that. You knew Boston was going to come, right at Embiid, and that was their main plan was going to be to take Embiid out of the game. So, interesting, man. We're trash. Trade Embiid, trade Harden. I think you're joking. Wow, King of AZ has made 2 different YouTube accounts to troll this chat, man. That's actually pretty impressive, man. We got a caller on the line from Haddon Heights, New Jersey. What's going on?
Hey, Eastwood, how's it going, brother?
It's going, man. Well, I've been better. I'm sick right now.
Good.
What's up, man?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I think... Is there a background noise there? I'm sorry.
No, I keep getting these little notification things. I got to figure that out at some other time. But anyway. Go ahead, man. What's up?
So I'm with you on a lot of what you're saying. With Maxey, I got to be honest, I'm not even slightly concerned about Maxey tonight. This was kind of what I expected he would do, because you got to think, he's going to want to, the first month or two of the season, he's probably going to want to give Harden, the room to operate in the offense as much as possible, because Harden is working towards a prove-it contract. And then I feel like as the season progresses, Harden's a little bit older. He's going to get tired throughout the year. There's certain games he might sit. And in the games that he sits, we know Maxey will put up 25, 26 points. So I expect by the playoffs, Maxey will be the guy that we expect him to be in this offense. But, tonight, 21 points you can't be disappointed with. And the only other thing I would say is that offensively, there's things we can critique. Overall, it was a good offensive night. I'm confused why there was this talk that B-Ball Paul would be in the rotation heavily, and he didn't get a single minute tonight. There were definitely moments where Perez got... And if he's going to put up 2 points against the Celtics, he can't be getting abused on defense while you don't have Paul in there at all. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, listen, when we first made the Montrez signing, my guy Romp was not very happy about it, and he said Doc Rivers was fired in L.A. because he rode Montrezl Harrell in the Western Conference Finals, and he was getting abused on defense, and he left him in there. And it's interesting. I remember saying, like, jokingly, don't be shocked if we come out here and you don't see any B-ball Paul and you see a whole ton of Montrezl Harrell, because Doc loves the guy. So game 1, here we are, 0 B-ball Paul minutes in the game.
It was very surprising.
It's interesting, man. Doc Rivers, he wasted no time reminding us. We had a couple months off. He wasted no time reminding us, hey, I'm Doc. I'm going to do it this way. If you don't like it,
And there's no victory tour. And there's one other thing, just one quick thing I would add. With Embiid, I'm with you that he usually starts the season like this a little slow. But there were games late in the season last year where you can kind of see in his body language, it's almost like he's 95% there, but he doesn't 100% want to be out there asserting himself. And so if I'm PJ Tucker, I'm not even going to worry about what Maxey, what Harris, what anybody else is doing. I'm going to always, as PJ Tucker, go right to the big fella and try to get him straight, because it really seems to filter down to the rest of the team.
Yeah, I can't. It's interesting that Joel Embiid said, this season he wants to be in the best shape of his career. He wants to be play hard all 4 quarters, and I just don't know if that's really in him. The size of just person that he is, can you really go hard for 48 straight or for 35 straight minutes or whatever?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I think for him to have gas in the 4th quarter, he has to take plays off throughout the game. So, I don't know. I have no idea what to say. I don't know.
No, that's a fair perspective. Well, I appreciate it, brother.
Hey, thanks for
doing
calling.
Good things. Call in some other time.
Thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, Nick 21. Oh no, we lost the first game out of 82. Thanks for the super chat. Joel Ramos. Ayo, go Phillies though. Sixers coach will kill us. Hey, I said, man, if I was going to make a prediction for this season, we're going to have a championship level roster and Doc Rivers is going to kill us. So, there's 4 people waiting on the phones. We'll get to all 4 of you. We'll try to keep it under 2 minutes. And then I'm going to bed because I'm sick and I feel horrible. Dan on the line. My man, Dan.
Hey, what's that? DJ, how you doing?
Doing great, Dan. How's it going?
Hey, sorry for asking you that because I know you just said that you weren't feeling better, but I hope you do. I hope you do get better anyway.
Getting there.
Yeah. Hey, we got to gel together.
Yeah.
What Doc should have did was play those. He should have played shaking that's familiar, with last year, and then let's sort of meld the other guys in. But I guess his rotation is all the new players, And if you ever looked at it, they all look kind of lost out there for a little while, and they started reverting back to that last year stuff, throwing the ball into to Joel, and he was being doubled and triple teamed,
Yep.
So I know a lot of people are posting that he look weak, and no, he don't look weak. When you got to play 3-on-1, man, that's hard to do. But I guess he'll get better throwing it back outside to his 3-point shooters. I don't know, but it's just one game, so I ain't gonna get discouraged. But I really just called just to tell you to get better, cause we need you.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate you, man.
All right, now, hey, fire Doc Rivers.
All right,
put him in a cannon and fire him, man. That's all I can say. We need to get rid of him, man.
You're probably right. I think everybody. Yeah. All right, man. Take it easy. Yeah, you're probably right, man. They definitely did fall back into that. Got very stagnant offensively. There was definitely lots of possessions where we're just trying to get the ball to Embiid in the post. And we're standing around. We've been saying for the whole time Doc Rivers has been here now that we want to see a lot more action on the perimeter. We want to see a lot more, down screens, pin down screens, off-ball screens. We want to see a lot more action with guards on the perimeter. We just never see that. We just never see that. under Doc Rivers with Joel Embiid. And he said it in that practice. There's a pecking order. Doc Rivers is going to go Joel Embiid in the post, number one, all game, all season. He just is not going to. It's tough, man. You just it won't let you call in, Abe. Why not, man? What'd you do, bro? Did you call the number? We got a no name right here. No name. We got no name on the line. What's going on?
Hey, I'm Luke from Australia. I just want to say.
What's up, man? All right, he's gone, man. I don't know what happened to him. Harrison Hinks. What's going on with you?
Hey, what's up? My name's JR.
What's
JR? Up, Eastwood?
Chilling, man.
Well, I got a couple points, man. First time caller. Appreciate your show. Shout out to all Philly Nation here. Running back Philly. I got much love. Calling out of Cincy. Wish I had a team with half the heart in Cincinnati to root for. But I love you guys out there and your fan base, man. Shout outs to the to the Eagles and the Phillies. Everybody doing their thing there.
Thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, of course, man. So, a couple points. Embiid. I just, he's supposed to be this monster, and he's supposed to be the beast. And I understand it's a long season, but he's got to demand that ball. He's got to get in there and demand that ball. And, playing against a younger athletic core in Boston, and they're at the crib and they're playing with all this drama going around with the coach type situations and stuff. Like, we got to muck the game up because we can't outrun them in a track meet. They're going, if you look at the, in transition, they crushed us in the point total.
Yep.
So I feel like if Embiid would have just asserted himself more and said, listen, I want the ball. Get me going first in this type of game. That was one thing that really drove me crazy. And then, Tease and B-Ball Paul. I mean, the two of our probably top five, arguably most athletic guys on the team, they should be playing in this game.
Yeah, you're right. Not the most skilled guys, but the spark kind of guys. Like when you're looking down, when you're looking like you don't have any energy, definitely B-Ball Paul and Matisse Thybulle are both guys you put on the floor to try to change some momentum with some poking away loose balls and diving on the floor, things like that. So I definitely agree, man. I don't know why they weren't in the game at all.
Yeah, just some energy, and close out on the threes. And it's like, we can sit here and make fun of Matisse all day long, and it's easy to do, but I really believe the kid is really trying to work on his craft, and it's like if we can't get him in there to get the shots up and to get the reps, then what are we doing? And, I know it's a long season. I'll keep saying that, but this was a statement game tonight. And it's not the fact that we lost. It's how we lost. I didn't like how we lost.
Hey, I'm with you, man. I can't disagree at all, man. I definitely, the point of Paul Reed and Matisse Thybulle, it is interesting. I don't know why they didn't get a single minute.
Now, do you think, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but do you think Embiid should demand the ball more, or do you think that's even capable in the offense that Doc's running with James out on the floor, and we got Maxey there, and then we got Tobias in the corner?
It's interesting, man. Should Embiid demand the ball more? Yeah, I guess he should. But I just think the Boston Celtics have a strategy, and, he gets the ball, and that double team comes so quick, and then we got to swing it, and it's always their plan to slow him down, and that's what they do. And we didn't do a good enough job of answering. But I just, I think once you double, triple Embiid and you have athletic enough players, him trying to force his way to the rim is just asking for, offensive fouls and things like that. So I don't really know yet.
Yeah, I think my low lasting thought is with the Beast is he needs to make his move quick. He knows that no matter if he's playing Boston, especially Boston, like you said, being super athletic and wanting to crowd him, he's got to know better to where when I get the ball, I got to go fast. I got to move fast. You might not be able to score. You might not get a good look, but you put the defense on their heels. Like any player out there, the longer you hold on the ball, whether you're the point guard, your center, or this position is the ball, basketball we're playing today, you give more time for the defense to collapse.
Hey, man, I'm with you, JR. We'll see what it looks like moving forward, man. Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. What's up?
Yeah, man, take it easy, man. We're going to bounce back Thursday. Get well, brother.
All right, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, again, man, I apologize if the energy's just not there. I've been sick for a couple days. But I couldn't miss this one, man. 3 more people on the line, and then I'm getting out of here, man. Thank you all for being here. 412 people in the chat. Please hit the like button on the stream. Thank you to all the supporters. Wireless caller.
Again, man.
Yo, what's going on?
How you doing, man? This is SG.
What's up, SG? Let me edit your name here real quick. I can put names in here. So I want to do that. SG. There we go, SG.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, cool. What's up, SG?
I wanna speak on this offense and the way it looks. Joel Embiid obviously looks a little passive. That isn't the part that concerns me. The part that concerns me is that it looks like James Harden and Embiid still really aren't on the same page. Embiid really isn't a great roller to the basket, and it seems to be limiting James Harden's game, as well as like James Harden seems the more eager to pass to Montrezl Harrell before he'll pass to a Joel Embiid who's at the foul line, standing there, not really rolling to the basket, not making his presence felt in the paint. And I just wanted to see, did you notice that? Is that?
I think that's been a topic of Joel Embiid learning how to run the pick and roll for a while now. That he just naturally pops more than he rolls. You know, he naturally pops out to the perimeter more than he rolls to the rim. So, it's probably something that you want him to do more often, is to roll all the way to the rim and not pop out there. But Joel Embiid, he plays the game the way he wants to play it. He likes to shoot jumpers. He likes to make his perimeter dribble moves and things like that. He thinks he's a 7'2" shooting guard, and I don't think we're gonna get him to change the way that he plays anytime soon. But he still led the league in scoring. But I agree that to run the pick and roll with him, you need him to roll to the basket more. I know what you mean about Montrez rolls straight to the basket because he's not going to shoot the ball. Yeah, you're right.
Right. So do you think that style of play, because for some reason Ben Simmons tends to pop up in my mind, because Ben Simmons said that Embiid's style of play doesn't complement what he wants to do, even though he didn't want to shoot. But we don't want to go there. But do you think Embiid's big man play is a little bit too soft? Like there's no place for the way he plays in the league?
I really just think that, my assessment of this whole thing is really this. It's that Joel Embiid is very dominant. He's an MVP level player. He's one of the most unique centers to ever play the game. But he can't be your only option. That's really where I'm at with it. He can't be your only option. He can be your number one option, but when you're playing a game like Boston, a team like Boston that has athletes and always has good defensive strategy, you have to have backup plans. There has to be some action somewhere else, and it just there's not with Doc Rivers. It's just give the ball to Embiid, and then Harden ISO, and then Harden Embiid pick and roll. And if they're kind of taking Embiid out of the game, I'm not seeing much else. Really. And it'll always be tough. People argue with me all the time, and they might end up being right by the end of this whole thing, that, you can't win with a center being your number one option in this NBA. The Celtics have Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. The Warriors, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. The, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. Other teams' star players are wings. And so it's interesting for your number one star to be a center. I just don't think he can be your only option. There has to be a lot more Tyrese Maxey involved. But really, if you look at one
more thing at you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is the last thing. I mean, you've been saying it all year, since last year. Doc Rivers, I think this first game, I don't care what anybody says. It's saying one game out of 82. But I've seen Doc Rivers' face. They showed it before the end of the game. This man looks confused. He doesn't even know how he lost the game. So with that being said, if Tyrese Maxey is literally a number one option, why is Tobias getting the ball? Why?
But the first Tobias, we ran 2 plays for Tobias Harris in the first quarter before Maxey ever had the ball, and I'm like, what? Why is this even happening right now?
And I think that we need to acknowledge the poison that Doc Rivers is putting in the heads of our players, talking about a pecking order. It's not a democracy. It's a pecking order. We get rid of Bassey. We get rid of Isaiah Joe. And then we don't even put in the bench players that we kept so that we can be able to stagger our lineups. I mean, it literally makes no sense. This dude is going to make me stop watching the NBA. I'm sorry.
Hey, man.
I'm sorry, man. I had to get that out, man.
At the end of last season,
This guy.
I said if we start out the season, 1-10, Doc Rivers is going to get fired. So we'll see, man. I hope he does.
I hope he does too. Like, if that's a sacrifice that we can take, if we can sacrifice the first 10 games to get Doc Rivers fired, I'm with it.
Hey, I can't disagree with you on that. Hey, thanks for calling, SG. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Later. Yeah, try not to overreact because it's one game, but, definitely Doc Rivers reminded us very quickly that game one already Doc rants. Oh, prepare for it all season. Yo, Zach, what's up, man?
Hey, Blink.
Hey, Blink, what's up? Yo.
Yo, you hear me?
Yeah, man, what's up?
Yo, it's Abe Blink.
What's
Boy,
up?
I just, a couple points I just wanted to make out, man. First, I want to say, Joel Embiid is gonna be fine, man. He had a bad game, and he still had 26 and 15. You know how it is. He's gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I think it's just it's a lot of defensive chemistry that I think that needs to be tightened up, and it will. It just seemed like they were really attacking the paint and got Embiid in the early foul trouble a little bit, and then Montrezl Harrell, he's not your defensive beast, but
Yeah.
they had a game plan. They attacked the paint. They did a good job at it. Jayson Tatum had a hell of a game. So did JB. They both did their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's another point that I wanted to make. With somebody called you earlier asking about B-Ball Paul, but you put B-Ball Paul down there, what is going to happen? They're going to keep attacking him. He's going to get into foul trouble.
Yeah,
I said that
to Romp on Twitter.
His game plan, adding him in the game, is going to change anything, honestly.
Yeah, against a team like Boston, I said that to Romp on Twitter. I was like, B-Ball Paul would have had 5 fouls in 30 seconds against the Boston Celtics.
He fouled out in the first quarter, easily.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, I feel like it's always been, who's the backup center and is the backup center good enough? So we're still here. We'll see. Maybe we'll miss Andre Drummond forever. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't want to hold you up too long. There's just a couple points I want to make. We're going to be fine. It's game 1 of 82. We're going to bounce back. I have a good feeling about playing Milwaukee coming, Thursday? We'll be fine.
Yep.
We'll be all right. Since we're going to be in the playoffs, we're going to be fine.
Yeah, man. Hey, thanks for calling, my man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Have a good one.
All right, man. Later. That is my guy, Abe Link. From the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. Abe Link is very active in the Discord. Link to that is in the description. But yeah, I don't have an answer really for the B-Ball Paul thing. If you put him in there, was this game going to be different? Nah. I guess when you really look at the numbers, we got production from Harden, Maxey, and Embiid. Just tweaking. No, Shake Milton did not play at all. We got production from Harden, Maxey, and Embiid. We didn't get production from anybody else. Anybody else. Caller from Media PA, man. What's going on?
Hello.
What's up?
What's up, DJ? Kair.
What's going on, man? What's your name?
Kair.
Kair. What's up, Kair?
What's good, man? It's a really frustrating game, man.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm taking positives away from it.
I'm trying to. I feel like James Harden had a really good game.
Yeah.
I hate that we had to Jaleel his 35 point, almost had a 35-point triple double.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
you know, I think the game was lost with Embiid and Doc specifically. Embiid's turnover and Doc's like terrible. I wouldn't say. I would say terrible play calling. Like keep trying to force feed the post.
That's all he ever tries.
that we didn't
That's all he
need.
ever tries to do. Yep. You have to have another plan because, especially against the Boston Celtics, how did he come in here and not know that they were gonna game plan against that right away?
Everyone knew that. Like everyone knew as soon as Embiid touched the ball, you're going to double and triple team him.
Everyone but Doc.
And there was certain plays when Embiid did like a nice job in passing out the post, and we got some open shots. But I feel like he just forcing too many things and turnovers, and then like he just got down. Like I don't know, man. He just pissed me off the whole game.
Yeah, 6 turnovers is not good. But at the end of the day, 26 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists. I mean, I know stats can be misleading, but that's pretty good stat line.
Offensively, I think we had a great 117 points versus that defense is not bad.
Yeah, it's really, I think it's really, I didn't agree with a lot of things Doc Rivers did with his rotations and which bench guys he chose to play and which ones he decided not to play and things like that. And I think he's going to experiment as the games go on. But look, man, 35 from Brown, 35 from Tatum, 14 from Marcus Smart, 15 from Grant Williams, 16 from Malcolm Brogdon. We didn't play any defense. Almost everybody put up 15 points at least.
And then when we did actually play defense, we had miracle shots going, like Grant Williams throwing up half-court threes, and
I remember that exact play that exact one you're talking about, man. We played great defense on that possession. The shot clock was running down. He chucked up a 3. I was like, "Are you serious?" Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, maybe if the game was in Philly, it goes different, but they're home. They tend to make.
Hey, hopefully we can
role
split.
players tend to make everything.
Hopefully we can take the Bucks on Thursday and have a 1-1 to start the season. If we start out 0-2 against the 2 best teams in the East, that's telling, but it still doesn't say much as far as the grand scheme of things. But thanks for calling, Kyer, man. You got anything else?
I was surprised that he didn't play Matisse more. I thought he would have him on Tatum or Brown more often, but that was kind of weird to me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know, man. I don't know. I knew Matisse. It's like, what role does he have on this team? Now they're talking about a contract extension, and I'm like, I don't know what role he has on this team. Where does he fit in if he's reluctant to shoot the ball? And then in the preseason, it looked like he was shooting the ball from the 3 pretty well. He had the game where he hit 3 threes, so we're thinking he's going to be part of the offense, and then Doc doesn't play him at all? I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah. I know that Doc is still trying to figure out the rotations with all the new pieces, but it's just you gotta play Matisse, especially in a game where Boston has dominant wings. PJ's good, but Tatum was just shooting right over him. You need some type of length on him at all times.
Hey man, we'll see, man. If maybe they start out 2-10 and they know they have the talent, but the coach just isn't getting it done, and maybe they can Doc Rivers in the first 10 games. I wouldn't be mad at it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I just wrote on Twitter #fire Doc Rivers.
We'll see, man. Kyer, thanks for calling.
All right, thank you.
Later. Yeah, I wasn't that mad at this game because it's the first game of the season, and I was very, very happy with what James Harden looks like physically. But you guys are right that this, the Doc game 1 of the season. Doc Rivers rotations and the things that he decided to do and the game plan and all that stuff is questionable. And it's like, if it gets to the point where all right, we got 3 all-star level players on the team. We have a very good supporting cast. We're a deep team, and Doc Rivers can't beat any top teams in the East with this roster, then it's time for him to go. But, game 1, we'll see, but if they're not looking good after 10 games, the city of Philly is going to want Doc Rivers' head anyway. So, But yeah, guys, hey, thank you to everyone that called the show, man. I appreciate each and every one of you. 403 people still up here. I know everybody was very excited for the start of the season. NBA season is back. I couldn't be happier. I'm going to go watch this Lakers-Warriors game. Watch the key plays, I guess, or the highlights of the Phillies win. Really sucks that the Phillies and the Phillies' first game against the Padres was the same night as the Sixers opening night. So I didn't really get to watch the Phillies game intently. I know Schwarber hit a 488-foot bomb, the longest home run in that stadium in San Diego. So, and Harper hit a opposite field home run. So shout out to the Bats. Shout out to the Phillies. This team was bad. They were not good most of this season with the roster, what it looks like, the money they spent in the offseason. I'm talking about the Phillies. And they're a couple games away from being in the World Series. So, if you don't watch baseball, now's a good time to jump in, man. If you don't watch, I'm telling you right now, playoff baseball is amazing. Playoff baseball is so much fun. I've been watching games that don't even include the Phillies. I was watching the Yankees game today. Playoff baseball is so much fun. If you don't watch baseball, now's a good time to jump into it, man. And the Phillies might actually get into the World Series after firing their manager halfway through the year. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, man. Again, if the energy's not there, I'm sick. I've been in bed all day. Drug myself out of bed to watch this game and do this show. So thank you guys for the support. And I will catch y'all on the next one, man. Go Sixers, go Phillies, go Eagles, go Flyers. I don't even watch hockey, but go Flyers, man. Run it back nation. Hit the like button, by the way. Hit the like button. Thanks for being here.